Yeah, the denouement of this year's summer transfer window is now upon us, with the market closing moments earlier. Some of the top clubs in the English Premier League made some notable additions to their squads, last-minute deals and some shock transfers sum up the day's events. Let's look at some of the bigger deals done today. Antony, the big one, record for a deadline day deal, switching Ajax for Manchester United, 95 million euros they say the fee is. Manuel Akanji leaves Dortmund, joins Manchester City, the fee undisclosed. We'll resolve the issue of the fees another time. It's just the fact of the transfers that are most important today. Willy Bolly, a fixture at the heart of the Wolves defence since their promotion. He is now with Nottingham Forest. Wout Faes has left the team that lost the first two Champions League finals to Real Madrid in the 1950s. Hess from France. He now plays for, well, will now play for Leicester City. Idrissa Gana Gueye left Everton for PSG. He has done the reverse. He's left PSG for Everton. Martin Dubravka, the Slovakian goalkeeper, swaps Newcastle for Manchester United. It's only on loan, although we understand there's an option to make that deal permanent. Denis Zakaria has left Juventus for Chelsea, and Aubameyang, they say, barring just a few glitches in the paperwork, with Aubameyang from Barcelona to Chelsea should be done and dusted when the auditors, by the time they get ready with auditing these transfers from September 2 onwards. Here with us to talk about transfer deadline day is that gentleman of international football, Simon Evans. Simon, welcome to the SportsMax Zone today.
Good to be with you. It's been a long, long day of transfer news, yeah.
Yeah, I watched them out, but I was up very, very early because, of course, you know the time difference, and I was getting my fill of the transfer news. Let me start with Chelsea and the Zakaria transfer from Juventus, because you know that there have been a million players linked with very few clubs. I never heard Zakaria to any club in England or heard Zakaria to any club but Juventus for that matter. So I was very surprised to see that deal get done.
Yeah, it is a surprise if that one goes through. I think, you know, it's just a case of Tuchel adding some extra options in there, really. He doesn't seem like, you know, he hasn't been linked at all, you're right. And another strange one like that from Juventus was Arthur Melo going from Juventus to Liverpool on a one-year loan. Again, no one had talked about that. We knew Liverpool were after a midfield player. We presumed they were going to sign someone, but to take someone on loan who hasn't really been a regular at Juventus over the last year or two is a bit of a surprise as well.
Yeah, and a little bit more on the Arthur Melo transfer, because when you look at the profile of player he is, Simon, perhaps a bit unkind, some Liverpool fans were seething when news started spreading that Arthur Melo was on his way from Italy to England, and then those pictures captured him coming out of the people carrier, because they were saying, what, this is a back pass and a sideways passing merchant. He doesn't fit in with the vertical way that Klopp's teams like to play, and if he's being brought in as a midfielder, he is totally out of keeping, out of sync with what Klopp usually wants in the engine room, and based on the kind of player that he has proven himself to be in his Barcelona days, in his days in Brazil, and certainly in his time with Juventus. How does he fit in at Anfield?
Well, I think the problem that they've had there is with the injuries, it's exposed them in that midfield area that they don't really have as much cover there as they do in other positions. You remember the midfield that lost to Manchester United was Henderson, Milner and Elliott. Now, Harvey Elliott has done really well since coming back from injury, and they really rate him there. But Milner's not getting any younger. Henderson's a warhorse in there. And I think just adding someone in there that when Thiago is out, I mean, you know, Arthur Melo is not another Thiago, but Thiago is somebody who can sort of control the tempo a little bit and can slow it down when it needs slowing down, and sometimes it does. So maybe, I'm guessing, that Klopp is thinking, okay, you know, here's somebody who maybe is coming off the bench for the last 20 minutes when we need to control a lead against the better sides, when we might be under a little bit of pressure, because that constant going forward has served Liverpool very well. But there may well be games against City or Arsenal or teams at the top end of the table where they do want to just enjoy a bit more possession and defend games that way.
Right, and Simon, what's your take now on Antony, who has been confirmed a Manchester United player, the second most expensive signing for Man U?
Yeah, I mean, he's a player I've really enjoyed watching for Ajax in the Champions League. He's an exciting player. I'm a little bit surprised about the amount of money they paid for it, but United are paying over the top for everybody, it seems. You know, we've had long discussions about their problems in dealing in the transfer market in the past, but I think he can give something there. I think he may be a little bit too similar to Sancho in some respects, but if they're playing on opposite sides with Rashford down the middle or Ronaldo down the middle, then, you know, you can see how it could work. I think as well, you know, the dribbling side of it, you might have to rein that in a little bit, because the way things are in the Premier League, much more about 1-2 touch passing and movement, and less about taking risks with dribbles. But we'll see. He's an exciting player, and I think the Old Trafford crowd will enjoy seeing somebody. You know, they haven't had a really out-and-out winger for a long time at United, so I think it's one that the Stretford end will enjoy for sure.
Right, and Antony coming into Manchester United, does, you know, Antony coming in affect any of the other players' places or positions or anything like that?
Well, I think it makes it harder for Anthony Elanga, has been playing in the last few games. I think it makes it harder for him. I think it gives Sancho some competition there as well. It raises questions again about Anthony Martial, who's still at United and who's picked up these injuries and lost his place, but it's going to be harder for him to get back. And then, you know, if he's playing out wide and Rashford is playing through the middle, I'm not sure if they will stick with that, because I don't think Rashford is as effective down the middle as he is coming in from wide. It again raises that question, well, where is Cristiano Ronaldo going to play?
Yeah. Akanji's transfer to Man City, another one that we never heard being mooted before today, and it just got done very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think, you know, Guardiola wants another defender in there, because I don't think he 100% trusts Nathan Ake, who he's had in there as his sort of backup defender behind, you know, Stones and Diaz and Laporte being the main ones. And I think he wanted somebody else there, because I don't think Ake has really taken his chances. So I think that's what that one's about. It's not a big money deal. He's a cover player, somebody who can play in those Champions League games as well. Experience with Dortmund, so another body in the building, as they say in football talk these days. Yeah,
the Aubameyang from Barcelona to Chelsea, that seems like a straightforward one, because I was talking to our SportsMax producer Phil Riley, you know him well, in the office today, and I was telling the others that Aubameyang guarantees you at least 12 Premier League goals, so that could be a shrewd bit of business for Chelsea.
Yeah, he's a natural finisher, and they haven't had one, you know, and they didn't work with Lukaku, didn't work with Timo Werner. They've both been sent back to where they came from, quite literally. And so, you know, I think he's a really good signing, that one. I mean, some of Chelsea's deals this summer have puzzled me. You know, I think spending absolute fortune on another left back in Cucurella was a strange decision. But this one looks like a smart deal. I mean, he's coming in. He's got a point to prove to Arsenal as well after the way that he left. We know he can score goals in the Premier League, and he will get chances to score them at Chelsea.
There you go. All the time we have has exhausted Simon. We've exhausted our paraders. We'll talk another time. All the best to you.
Oh.
Good. Break time. Back with more interactive on The Zone after these.